Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sam, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys all of my top sellers. I am a vintage reseller online. I sell on Instagram, which is Blueberry Vintage Co. And I also have my own website, which is blueberryvintageco.com. I have been reselling now for a couple of years, and mostly my niche is like cottagecore or old world or English style, that type of vibe. I wanted to share all of the things that always sell for me currently. So this is like an updated list. I don't think that I have ever made one of these videos on YouTube. I have in like short form content. So I'm excited to sit down and share with you guys today. At the end, I will also share a few things that do not sell for me right now that kind of used to, but they don't anymore. So let's get right into it. I have a list on my notes app. So let's jump right in. First up are mini ironstone creamers. So I'm gonna pop up pictures somewhere on the screen. These are, just like I said, they're just these tiny little like chunky ironstone creamers, and I think people just collect them for decor. I personally think they're adorable. There's just something about them. The ones that sell best are the elephant ear ones. Normally the creamers have a little hole like where the handle is, but the elephant ear one, the hole's filled in. Those have been selling for me for years. Anytime I pick those up, if I can get them for a good price, because they only sell for like $20 or so, but usually if I can get them for a couple of dollars, it's a quick flip. They're easy to pack because they're so tiny, and yeah, they always do well for me. Next is a tried and true. It always sells for me. It has for years, and I personally love them so much, and that is needlepoints. Also cross stitch or crewel or embroidery, but needlepoints do the best, and I of course will put up a picture. Cross stitch is a little bit different. Sometimes they can just, I don't know, they're just not as cozy. I feel like a needlepoint, because it's like wool and yarn, it just has a cozier effect, and cross stitch, it just looks, I don't know, a little bit like cheaper. Sometimes cross stitch can look really good. I just sold a horse cross stitch recently. That was really good, and a lot of times the samplers, like a cross stitch sampler, those sell very well for me. Always, if I can find those for a good price, they do really well, but needlepoints tend to do better, just in my opinion and for me. And I also wanted to say that for the imagery or the subject matter, usually floral needlepoints or animals, those do the best. Also, sometimes there's like a landscape that can be really cool. Next up are small paintings. So I'm talking like 9 by 11 and smaller. The tinier ones always sell for me. I just think they're so unique, and you don't have to worry about like, ooh, do I have space in my wall for this? And if it's an original painting, definitely sells best. Sometimes little prints can do well too, like ovals do really well. And then on that same topic, seascapes and lighthouse paintings are selling very well for me. Anytime I sell one, I will have somebody message me asking like, keep an eye out for those. I'm collecting those, or I want to buy one. I just think because a lot of people live on the coast, or I don't know, Maine right now is trending. That's where I live. Like trending, you know, to have that like coastal vibe. They just really sell for me. If I see any that are good, I grab them, and they typically always sell. Any small cupboards, drawers, or spice racks. So this is kind of a bunch of things in one, but any tiny little like cupboard, something you can hang on your wall to like store spices or to store something small. People love a little like set of drawers, spice drawers, or a little chest, like a mini chest of drawers, or just a cupboard. Those always sell for me, as well as trinket shelves. So that can be like a letterpress drawer. People use those for trinket shelves, or a trinket shelf that was like meant for trinket shelving. Trinket shelving. They just always do well. People love to store their trinkets, display them. Little miniatures are really big right now, so that I should have added that too. Anything miniature, like tiny little figurines or little like dollhouse furniture, people can put them in their trinket shelves, so I always pick those up. Martha Stewart books, specifically like vintage ones, but they always sell for me. Her cookbooks, her gardening book, any of her books, they always do well. I also should have added Julia Child's books, but both of those always do well. Copper pans and pots, basically anything copper for the kitchen. So copper pots, copper pans, copper kettles, those like kind of slowed down for me. I think unless it's really good, they just don't sell as well, because a lot of times the vintage copper kettles, you can't really actually use it. So if you can't use it, like, people don't really want one, you know? So copper pans, pots, measuring cups, little copper measuring cups, and copper colanders all fly off my non-existent shelves, my hypothetical shelves. Next are accordion peg racks. Always, always, always sell for me. Always have, probably always will. I always pick them up if I find them at a good price. Because people love them so much, I have noticed the price on those going up. So I tend to try to find those at thrift stores versus antique stores now, because antique stores have been jacking them up a little bit. Hanging wall baskets, the type that have like the flat back so that you can put it right up against a wall. People love those. You can hang them on the accordion peg basket, the accordion peg racks. They're just so useful. I have them all over my house, so I always pick those up. Brass animals, the ones that do the best for me are cats, horses. If I find deer or bunnies, those always do super well, or dogs. Ones that don't do as well are like the elephants or dolphins, things like that. But brass animals always sell, along with brass trinket dishes. So right now, Anthropologie and a couple of other brands and other retailers have been making new versions of the pocket change dishes. And it's just a brass dish. It says pocket change on it. It's a vintage dish, and if I find those will always sell. Or any kind of little brass trinket dish. And then needlepoint pillows. So like this. I have a couple of these on my couch. They are just so cottagey and adorable, and they always sell. Needlepoint or cross stitch pillows, usually the floral ones. I just sold a Christmas one. They're just so cute, and they always sell. The next thing, okay, I just put down anything unique or interesting. So sometimes like I'll see something and it's not necessarily my niche or my typical vibe, but I'm like, I just like need to have this. It's so weird, I can't leave it. Just the other day I picked up a little wooden plaque that had a carved egg and a carved asparagus on it, like just kind of whimsical. Those little weird whimsical things that you don't see a lot, those do sell. And I have sold like a painting before that had like a grumpy old lady on it, you know, just like weird stuff. That the like unusual items typically always sell. And I also have, okay, so the last thing on my bestsellers list are busts. So that is a fun word to say. Ceramic busts, and I haven't found a brass one, but I know that sucker would sell. Wooden ones, oh, I should have added to this list. Okay, hands. So it kind of goes in the bust category. Hands, like wooden hands, ceramic hands, anything like that. Any sort of hand. I haven't sold any like prayer ones. I'm not religious, so I just don't pick up religious stuff. But any sort of hand, like usually they're ring holders, but now people are just kind of collecting them, and they just make for interesting decor on a shelf. But yeah, busts do really well for me. And then here is my small little list of things that don't sell for me anymore. Or if they do sell, it'll take a very long time to move it, and then I'll have to like mark it down, and it's a whole thing. So large art. Very rarely will a large piece of art sell. Sorry. On top of the fact that they don't sell well for me, they are such a pain to ship because the cost for the customer is so much. and just because of the size, not even necessarily the weight. Sometimes it can be heavy if there's glass. For me, like shipping it is a pain because trying to find a box or like making a little flat pack box, it's a whole thing. But I will very rarely pick up a large piece of art if it's really good and it's a really good price, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna make at least $100 off of this, so I'm gonna go for it. And then every time I go to pack it, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Because it really is there's no other way to say it. It's annoying to ship large art, but I think people don't like it either necessarily because they know, okay, that's big, that's gonna be a lot to ship, or it's too big for their space. And also it's like, if you haven't seen it in person, it's hard to know, like, do I really like that enough for it to take up so much wall space? But yeah, if it's really good, I'll pick it up, but I try to avoid them. And then the other thing that is not really selling for me are pictures. I did just sell an ironstone one, but the pattern was so good. But typically they just don't really sell. I feel like people don't really use pictures anymore. What I would use a picture for now would be for like utensil holder or a vase. But I also probably wouldn't use a vintage picture specifically because it could have lead, you know? And I just like, I don't, it just kind of weirds me out. But yeah, I love them because like I said, I can use them for utensils, or for, what am I saying? For a vase. Okay. And the last thing that doesn't sell for me very well are tureens or any sort of like covered dish, like a casserole type dish. Sometimes they are so pretty. So I picked them up. Like I have one right now I'm looking at. I'll put a picture up. That is so pretty. And I'm not mad that it didn't sell because I will just keep it. But I just think people are like, what am I going to use this for? I personally don't think you need to use things the way they're supposed to be, so that's why I pick them up. I'm like, a lot of times if I think something's pretty, I pick it up because I would just use it to decorate. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of times people are like, what am I going to do with that? I'm like, I don't know, just put it on a shelf. But not everybody just wants to like fill up a shelf. So with a covered dish, you know, you could hide candy in it from your kids. You could, you know, do whatever. My, one of my best friends, he takes old like vintage teapots and he puts tissues in it and then use it as a tissue holder, which is like the cutest thing ever. So you could always do that, like get rid of the lid and keep the dish. But yeah, those don't sell because I just think that they're not really like practical anymore. Nobody like uses a soup tureen. You usually just serve the soup from the pot, you know. So those are just kind of, I don't know, it makes me sad because I see them everywhere at the thrift store and I'm like, what can we do with these? But yeah, that is my whole entire list. I can for sure do updated lists. I'm sure I forgot other things that always sell for me. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to make another one of these videos. And also comment down below if you're a reseller and let us know things that always sell for you. And we can all like kind of compare notes because that's kind of fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!